everyone. I'd like to introduce you to an amazing client of mine. This is Anthony Coe.
Hello.
Anthony, thank you so much for agreeing to have a chat to me today. I was wondering if you could share with us when you met me and why you were attracted to the training.
When did I meet you? So I met you first around 12 or 13 years ago.
Yeah.
I believe I came to you for healing. And what attracted me to you was it was a referral. So I believe it was my sister that referred me to you. And there was a voice in my head that just told me that I needed to see you and that this would be highly beneficial for my life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for my life. That's probably the best way to put it.
Did you know what that voice was at that time?
I did not. I know now it's my intuition, but at the time, no, it was just the voice in my head. And I always thought that everyone has voices in their head.
Yeah.
Don't we all have voices in our head that tell us what to do?
Yeah. Anthony, and can you let us know what was your career? So, because this is important in terms of, how you found your way to the training.
At the time, I was a management consultant, working a lot of corporate projects, government projects, working with a lot of C-level executives, and generally just helping businesses transform and improve.
So the training that I was offering isn't necessarily something that you were looking for, but you felt was right for you.
Yeah, it absolutely was not what I was looking for. But at the time, I was extremely unhappy and unfulfilled with my career, depressed, and just a victim of circumstance, and feeling like that I had everything on paper. I had a good job. I was earning lots of money. I was well respected. I was working with all these high-level executives, making all these changes on multinational companies, but I was completely and utterly unfulfilled, unhappy, and depressed.
So you were looking for fulfillment?
I was looking for fulfillment, yeah, and looking for something more, something that I had always knew was within me, and just didn't know what it was. Looking for answers, looking for a path, if you will.
What are one or two things that you believe have profoundly transformed your life that you've taken from the training?
The idea that we all have a life's purpose and that it calls out to us, and that when we're in alignment with this purpose, everything just magically happens and we're fulfilled. On the flip side, when we're out of alignment with this purpose, we just feel unhappy and in a lot of the lower negative emotions like fear or anger or greed, and we just sit in these emotions without ever questioning them. And I believe throughout the training, I was able to understand these two states of alignment. When I was in alignment, how easy it was for life to just magically happen and transform, to when I was out of alignment, which was where everything was hard and I was unfulfilled, even though it was the same two realities. That was one very interesting concept I got.
How significant for you was negative thinking in terms of something that just kept taking you out of alignment with what you wanted?
It ran my life. Basically, negative thinking basically ran my life. And if I think about my mindset 10 years ago versus now, it's completely different. Before, it was always stories like, I'm not good enough, why aren't you happy? You've got so much money, or, dreams, you'll never achieve your dreams, so just stick to what you know. All these just negative stories that I was telling myself that were completely holding me back and also completely untrue. That was the biggest one. And I think the training helped me realize that none of these stories were grounded in fact or reality. It was just stories that have been programmed into us by our upbringing, by our family, by our society, and that all we have to do is do the work and really understand what we want in ourselves to kind of break out of that and come back into our soul's alignment or our life's purpose.
What was it about the training that stuck for you?
I think you were very good at kind of pinpointing the areas that I needed to focus on and the things that I needed to let go of. You were very good at just giving me very simple exercises that I could do daily, such as meditation or the intuition kind of exercises where you asked me to ask my intuition what to have for lunch. So it was very, very simple things to solve a very, fundamental problem or issue that I had in my life. And it was almost like just practicing these very simple things daily, I could already see the changes happening in my reality in real time. So that was one thing that definitely started me on the path.
Did you really understand intuition? Did you know what it was?
I would have understood it as just gut feeling and nothing more than that. I think the way that you explained it was a lot clearer. I believe it was almost like it was what your soul really wants and what your soul is guiding you towards.
Yeah, the soul's voice.
Yeah, the soul's voice. And I never really saw it that way. I think I would have seen it as the textbook definition being, oh, that's just gut feeling, that, you know, we all have just gut instinct, or never really kind of explored it or even understood what it could do, or how it could change your life and how you could use it as a real guide in your life, not just as a gut feel, I guess.
Yeah, and were you surprised at how you were able to develop your intuition? I mean, did you know at that time, you know, when you look back, that feeling of just knowing could be developed to such a sophisticated level of knowing, to how you could use it in your profession, in your life, to make very powerful and important decisions?
I think at the time I didn't believe it, but now that I've seen the results after 10, 12 years of using it, I can't think of another way of living. I mean, before, I remember there was a certain situation when we were in the training, when I was still consulting, and it was, you were just telling me to use my intuition to ask if what's the best way to work with this person, or how do I work with this person. And a lot of the times in consulting, you see a lot of different clients or a lot of different people in the organization. So one thing I did do was, before meetings or going to meetings, I would kind of sit with myself and say, okay, well, what's the best way to approach this person or approach this situation? And then sometimes it would be, oh, this person, just be yourself. Or other times it would be, oh, maybe you need to be a bit more prepared for this meeting, or maybe you need to be a bit more confident in this meeting, or maybe you shouldn't wear the tie to this meeting. Just a lot of very silly things like that, which I thought were just voices in my head. But then in hindsight, there was a very tangible and real reason for the voice inside my head, and you can call that coincidence or you can call it synchronicity, but I've just seen too many instances of my intuition being correct to even doubt it, or to even call it like it's just gut feel anymore. So definitely I've seen.
And I'm glad that you raised that, because at the beginning, when you're in that development stage, and those impulses, which what you were talking to, right? Those impulses, you've got an impulse that I should ask this question, or an impulse I need to be more confident. So the intuition fires these impulses, and because you were going through the training, you were listening to them. But what you also obviously realise is that if you listen to those impulses, which at the beginning of the training, they can sound sometimes silly, or sometimes they don't make sense. But if you follow them, then those impulses become more sophisticated and much more detailed. So it's not then just about, you know, okay, well, you need to be more confident. Then, as you probably realise, that you were getting more detailed information about a person.
Yes.
Can you speak to that? Do you have an example of something that you experienced around that?
I mean, I guess the biggest one is a complete career change and life purpose, life path change. The biggest, the voice was always saying to me, corporate isn't for you. This isn't even what you like to do. This isn't where your skills are best served. And over again, it was the same kind of voices. Actually, I used to have a reoccurring nightmare about failing a course, and it used to happen a lot when I was quite stressed at work. Because it's the intuition was telling me that it's not where I wanted to be or needed to be. I guess another exercise that I remember that you taught me was listen to the intuition when it's things you are passionate about, and pursue that and bring more of that into your life. And so, as you know, one of the main things that you brought up originally was about the martial arts. And my intuition very strongly was, well, you love doing martial arts, you should bring more of that into your life and find a way to kind of to spread it out and bring it into a career somehow. And then I started boxing. I started teaching boxing, and there was a lot of signs along the way of how I even get to that point of teaching boxing, and it was all following the intuition step by step. It wasn't like there was one magical big enlightened moment. Moment of enlightenment. It was just a lot of small little moments of intuition, and I just kept following, and eventually I was in the place that I wanted to be.
Anything you would like to say before we wrap up about the training or working with me, or your experience of the information, anything like that you feel like you want to share?
No, I think it was a very, very well-structured program. I think there are a lot of very simple tasks that were extremely beneficial. And if you just do the work, you'll see the results. Especially for me, a lot of the meditation and the intuition exercises helped me a lot and were fun as well. I think if there's anyone out there that is questioning this training and they're a bit unsure of what they want to do in their life, just pull the trigger and sign up with Silvana. You won't regret it, because she will change your life. And you may have the doubts now, and you may have all the questions and oh, I can't do this isn't for me. Forget all that. You don't need to listen to that. Just listen to the voice that tells you to do it, and just don't look back. She'll change your life like she's changed mine. And
Anthony,
I
bless you.
wouldn't have it any other way. No, I bless you, Silvana. It's coming from the heart.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And, it's really powerful for me also just hearing what you're sharing, because I feel blessed to have been part of your learning, and to see the role that, I have played in the transformation, and certainly you being able to live the fulfilled life that you live now. So, Anthony, thank you so much. I'm so grateful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Silvana.
Great. Thank you.
Very
Bye-bye.
much. Bye-bye.